Hi, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video about life in Italy. If this is your first time, my name is Hilda Gloria. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure not to miss my next videos by hitting the red subscribe button down below. That way you are notified every time I post videos. In today's video I'm going to be talking to you about getting and renewing a permit of stay if you are a student, or in Italian which is called permesso di soggiorno al motivo di studio. Now I'm going to take you through the important notes, things that you must know about the renewal of your permit of stay or about the getting of your permit of stay. I'll take you through the requirements, what is required for you to be able to renew your permit of stay as a student, and also I'll be taking you through the process of how and where to get your permit of stay and how to get all the documents that I'm going to be talking about. Important notes. The first one is that you should renew your permit of stay when it's 2 months, at least 2 months before it expires. Don't wait until it's less than 2 months before it expires for you to start the process of renewal, because theoretically you should renew it when it is still valid. Don't renew it when it's already expired. So if, for example, your permit of stay expires on the 31st of December, it's very advisable for you to start the process of renewal on in October, to be safe. Yeah, that's it. The other one is that make sure that when you're planning your travel, your permit of stay doesn't expire when you are abroad, because if it does expire when you are abroad, you will not be allowed to come into the country. You will be required to get another visa to come into the country, and we all know the visa process. It's not an easy one. I have a video where I share about study visas to Italy. I will link it in the description box below for you to go ahead and check it out. Another important note is that once you have got let's say the receipt, usually you're given a receipt when you apply to renew your permit of stay or when you apply to get your first permit of stay. So usually with that receipt you are able to travel to other countries, especially to your country of origin. However, if your permit of stay is expired and you only have the receipt, you are not allowed to travel within Schengen countries. Happened to me, I learned the hard way, so I don't want the same to happen to you. That is why I'm telling you up front. Usually when you have your permit of stay expired but you have the receipt, because it's in the process of renewal, you can travel to your country or to other countries as long as you don't transit in Schengen countries. For example, whenever I wanted to go home to Uganda when my permit was expired, I would travel with my passport, the expired permit of stay, and the receipt, because they asked to look at them, and then I would transit in, let's say, Addis Ababa, which is in Africa and is not in the Schengen area, and that was okay. Also, you're not allowed to go to the UK or pass through the UK unless you have the UK visa. You will definitely need the same documents for you to come back: a receipt, your expired original permit of stay, and your passport. Those are okay for you to travel abroad and to come back into the country without any problem, because the receipt is a proof that your permit of stay is in the process of being issued. 2. The requirements. Now, the first thing that you need is a kit. A kit is an envelope which costs 30 euros that you buy from the post office. If you are an international student, most of you have got like an international student's office where those kits are already there for you. You just have to pay 30 euros for you to get it. So you just have to ask your university if they do have the kits for you, and all you need is the modulo 1, which is module 1. That is all you're going to need to fill in. What do you fill in? Basic ethnographic information: your name, where were you born, where do you live, basically information about you, like biodata information about you. It's nothing major, especially if it is your first time to get a permit of stay. It's nothing major. It is where you're living, your address, where you were born, where you're coming from, the date that you entered Italy, why are you in Italy, what visa are you, what permit are you trying to apply for, and of course you will write down study or studio. Number 2, which is very important, is the Bulletino, which is like a receipt. It's usually that long. You have to fill in your, of course, ethnographic information, date of birth, where you live, and you have to pay 107.5 euros. You have to pay 107.50 cents. And you have to pay that in the post office once you have it all filled in and ready to hand in your kit. Also, you have to pay a tax of €1.60. I don't know why we pay that, but yeah, you have to pay it too. So prepare about 109 euros for the permit. Next requirement is a very important requirement that will be asked over and over and over. So if I were you, I would make about 10 copies, which is a copy of your passport. They're going to ask you for a copy of your passport until you leave Italy, basically all the time. If you want to open up a bank account, if you want to do anything, get a house contract, you are going to be required to provide a copy of your passport. So have a copy of your passport and walk around with it just in case somebody asks for it. Yeah, so you will need one, and you will need to include it with your application form in the kit, the big white envelope that the post office or your university gives you. If you are renewing and you are not getting your permit of stay for the first time, you are going to be required to provide a copy of your expiring or about to expire permit of stay. You are going to make a copy and just provide a copy. You don't show the originals. You only show the originals at a time in the future that I'm going to tell you about shortly. But you need to include that, and I think it has to be signed, hand signed by you. It also has to be included in the envelope. You also need a stamp, which is called Marca da Bollo, which costs €16.50. Now, that price has not been updated. I last checked last year, so I'm not sure about this year. Given the level of inflation, I would advise that you go ahead and check out. But you get that from the tabaccaio or the tobacco shop. It's usually written with the capital T, which is usually in blue or in white. So they sell them there. Once you go there and you ask them Marca da Bollo, €16.60, they know it and they will give it to you, and you will need to attach that on the module 1 that you fill in. There's a space for it. You will stick it on, and the post office will definitely need it, and they will require it, and they will scan it to see if it's original or if it's fake. Next is health insurance, because as a student you do not work and you do not pay taxes, so you are not entitled to free health care just like everybody else in Italy is. So you are entitled to pay health insurance, and it has to be at least annual. So you have to, usually the university helps you with this. When I was a student in 2013, I paid 110 euros. That was per year, and I used to use the university hospital because the university had a hospital. So I used to go there for treatment, and they would give you like a personal doctor or something of a sort and a receipt. Yeah, I don't know how things are right now, but yeah, you have to ask your university. They know where you have to buy that insurance, and they know what hospital, because every university is attached to a hospital in Italy. So make sure that you ask your university about this, and make sure you purchase the insurance. I am sure it is not less than 110 euros per month. It might have gone up, but up to the point of my research, it was 110 euros. Next is something that used to annoy me so much as a student. I thought it was not logical, but anyways, you are required to provide financial proof of 6,500 euros, at least 6,500 euros on your account. You need to have this amount of money on your account, or on an account of somebody that writes you, that guarantees that they are taking care of you or you're under their care. So when I was in Italy, the police just required that to be on my account, or to show that it was on my parents' account. Again, it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, to ask somebody that is unemployed to show that amount of money, but they do require it, and you have to show it, unfortunately. So you have to take a copy of your bank statement and put it in your envelope as you hand it in to the post office. You are also required to show your house contract. Now, once you come to Italy, you either live in the student residence, or you rent yourself an apartment, or you rent a room. So whatever you are using, wherever you're sleeping, they usually provide a contract, or they provide a document. The university has to provide a document to show that you sleep in the university dorms. Your landlord provides a document to show that you are renting out their house. So that you have to photocopy and stick also in the envelope. Next is a self-declaration certificate that shows that you are a student. Now, if you are renewing your permit of stay and you are in your second year of university, you have to provide proof that you passed at least one exam. And if you are in your second or third year of university, you have to provide proof of passing at least 2 exams. Now this is usually on the university websites where you write your exams. There's usually a piece of paper with your grades. You just print that off and hand it in together with all the other documents. Moving on to the procedure, how to apply for, the permit of stay now that you have all the documents, now that you know all the notes and this and do's and don'ts. The first thing you do is to fill in the module 1 and then attach every document onto it, and then enclose the envelope and take it to the post office. The post office will check it and they're going to give you a date that you are supposed to go and see the police, or for an interview with the police. It's usually a date in the future, let's say at least 3 weeks ahead, so that you are ready with all your originals. In the envelope you just put your photocopies, and then you take all the originals to the police on the day of your interview. Now when that day comes, all you have to do is just take your originals and go. Usually they ask a few questions, look at your originals and take your fingerprints, and that's it. It's usually very easy, except if some documents are missing, they will ask you to go back and get the missing documents. Now after that, they usually just send you an SMS on your phone to go and pick your permit of stay when it is ready. The process is not that difficult, except if you have some documents missing. Now that is if you are doing the process in person. Things have changed. When I arrived, we didn't do things online, but right now you can do it online. You can do the application online. You need to scan all those documents and attach them to portaleimmigrazione.it. So it's a website where you can attach all those documents. But living in Italy, I would advise you, in good faith, do not do anything online if there's a possibility to do it in person, because I've applied for my identity card online and it took me a year. Yet for the people that do it in person, usually just take a month or 2. So it's up to you. I mean, think about it, because if a permit lasts a year and you have to spend about 6 months going back and forth, especially if you have some documents missing or if there's anything that needs to be proved, I would advise you to do it in person if the opportunity is there. So that's it. I hope I touched base on everything. If there are further questions that I didn't answer, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments to add, let me know. If you have any questions, if you have any video requests, just let me know in the comments below and I'll be very happy to answer them. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.